Breaking news. A mysterious condition is spreading rapidly in classrooms, lecture halls, and office desks around the world. And shockingly, it has been present for centuries, silently passing from one generation to the next. Even the world's greatest scientists, inventors, writers, and artists have shown symptoms of this condition. People have been seen drawing circles during meetings, filling the margins of their notebooks with strange patterns, and even bringing stick figures to life during long lectures. Can you believe some even managed to turn their boredom into ideas without even realizing it? Now, before you panic, no, it's not contagious, and no, you don't need medication. In fact, if you've ever found yourself doodling during a boring class, congratulations! You're not lazy, you're not distracted, and no, you aren't wasting time. In fact, you have something that I like to call doodle mania. And your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: work. You may ask me, how is this possible? Well, that's what I'm here for today. Hi, I'm Manoghna BH, and today I'll be talking about why doodling is not a distraction. Growing up, I'm pretty sure all of us have heard the same sentence over and over again: stop doodling, pay attention. But what if I told you doodling is how some of us pay attention? Think about it. Our brain doesn't like being completely still for long periods of time. When we try to force focus, our mind starts to wander. We start to daydream, make up imaginative conversations, or even start asking ourselves, what's for lunch? But when we doodle strange lines, irregular shapes, we give that restless part of our brain something to do. And that's when the thinking part of our brain doesn't wander off to a faraway land. When our hands are lightly busy, our mind stays present. We listen more carefully, remember more clearly. It's kind of like handing your brain a stress ball. Doodling is not a distraction, it's a bridge between boredom and focus. And now, wait. I'm looking at everybody in the crowd, and all of you have looks of suspicion all over your faces. If you don't believe me, let me introduce you to a few people who turned their discoveries from just a small scribble in the corner of their page. First, it's Stanislaw Ulam. In the 1950s, he was a Polish mathematician and he was attending a dull conference. And like the most of us, his mind started to wander. So he started to doodle. He drew a spiral and wrote numbers in it. He circled all the prime numbers, and that's when he discovered something shocking. That spiral had a unique pattern of diagonals that later led to the discovery of the Ulam spiral, a complex visual representation of prime numbers that mathematicians still study till today. Now, I just want to clarify one thing. He wasn't in a high tech lab or intensely focused. All he had was a pen, a margin, and a bored mind, and that's all he ever needed. The next person I think is a fan favorite. Meet J.K. Rowling. When she was writing the Harry Potter series, she didn't write lengthy pages of text. She doodled characters, family trees, settings, and relationships. This helped her keep track of a complex fictional world while also maintaining clarity and consistency. Next, it's artist Nicola Scott. When she was talking on the phone, She found herself repeatedly doodling Wonder Woman's face. That is when she realized what she wanted her art to depict. This led to a successful career as a comic book illustrator who's known for drawing some of the world's most iconic superheroes. If you guys still don't believe me, take me as an example. This has even happened to me. So, here's the scene. It was a slow Sunday and I was procrastinating, like all professionals do. And that's when I found myself picking up a pen and doodling a circle, well, something that looks like a circle. Trust me when I tell you, if my math teacher saw this, she would demand early retirement. But then, this circle grew legs. It got a friend and then became a blueprint for an aquatic organizer. And before you guys judge my drawing skills, I was 7 when I drew it. And this made me realize ideas don't come in the form of a masterpiece. They sneak in as a silly little scribble in the corner of our page. Now, let me ask you something. Do you find it easier to learn how the human heart works with a long text or just a simple label diagram? Well, I found my answer back in grade 7. The diagram stayed, the paragraph did not, because we don't learn to straight lines. We learn to touch, sight, and experience. This is something our education system needs to recognize, especially for our generation. I mean, come on. We are Gen Z. We don't think in straight lines. We think in our own chaotic and marvelous ways. Now, imagine if our classrooms were built for that. Chemistry, where atoms and molecules aren't just trapped in our textbook, but come out alive as models which we can change to our heart's content. Biology, where cells aren't just trapped as diagrams in our classwork, but come out as living samples under a microscope. History, where battles aren't just dates to memorize, but places to explore, choices to debate, and consequences to face. Language, where characters aren't just trapped in the four walls of our textbook, but they come out alive and spark our imagination. This is not entertainment. This is understanding. The moment learning becomes alive, visual, and interactive, it stops being something that we memorize for tests and becomes something we remember forever. And to think, this all started with a doodle. Those tiny scribbles we draw in the corners of our pages, they become ideas. Ideas become discoveries, and discoveries unbox the future. Doodling is not a sign that our mind has wandered off to a faraway land. It's a sign that it's trying to stay present. So, the next time somebody tells you to stop doodling and pay attention, smile because you already are. The world does not change by people who think in straight lines. It changes when people bring out ideas through their own crooked, chaotic scribbles full of possibilities. So, pick up your pen, fill the margin, and let your imagination spill out. After all, no box has ever been big enough to contain an idea that started off as a doodle. Thank you.